She's got so much going on in her life. We're going to talk about her new book, Your Second Act, Inspiring Stories of Transformation. But Patricia, take us back to the great hairdo. What was going on there?
Well, it's so funny to look at that sweet, young, innocent person who had no idea that 2 more kids were going to be in her future and that she was going to be utterly exhausted. And then go on to do another 9-year TV show, still trying to raise the kids. So, gosh, it's weird. Time is just so flexible. So it seems like Raymond was yesterday, and yet when I look at that video, it's a million years ago.
How was it? You have 4 boys.
Yeah.
How were you able to manage? Because you were on incredible show after show after show that really have become so iconic.
Yeah. I think I'm missing a lot of brain cells. I think I killed a lot of brain cells because I can't keep things together. We recently just missed our youngest son's 21st birthday. Completely forgot about it. Not kidding. Got a text from him and at the end of the day going, well, happy birthday to me, I guess.
First of all, he's probably the coolest of all 4. That makes him so cool.
That's right. That's right.
4 boys. Yeah. Do they think you're cool? Like, do they appreciate your work?
My only consolation in death will be that maybe they'll finally watch my shows in order to feel like I'm still around.
This is great. Let's talk about your second act.
Yeah.
First of all, my oldest is about to go to college.
So you have 3.
What do I need to know about my first leaving for college?
Be ready to cry. You know what it is? It's the first one that comes in completely changes your life. So it's a huge milestone when that first one, who was such a catalyst for change, then leaves. You know, it's a huge demarcation of passage, of this great passage.
For you, what was it like when number 4, who never got his picture book or his birthday, went away to school? Like, that had to be the biggest moment. That I am not ready for.
Yeah, that it was. And, this is interesting because I found myself drinking more when the last one left. Yeah.
You need something.
Well, but then because of that, I quit drinking, and it's been 2 years since I've had a drink.
What is it? There's something about clarity and just sort of wanting wellness.
Yes, one of the things was my boys probably, that not one of them, and they're adorable, has a girlfriend. So if I'm going to have grandchildren, it's a good 10 years away. Let's say I get the first grandchild 10 years from now. I'll be 72.
Yeah.
So I want my brain to be perfectly cogent and juicy when the grandkids come, God willing. And so one of the things is, like, alcohol just fritzes your brain, and it's bad for your eyesight, like all the sugar. It's bad for your sleep. And so I just thought, for my future grandchildren, like, I'm going to stop drinking, and then perhaps it will bring them, maybe sooner than 10 years. I don't know.
Do you feel more creative without it?
You know what I am? I'm more emotional. And in fact, Brad Garrett, who played Robert on Everybody Loves Raymond, he's been sober for many, many years. And I was telling him about it. We go to a party at Ray's house every year to see each other. And I told him I quit. And he said, do you find that you cry more now? And I said, yes, I get very teary and emotional, but also my sleep is much better. There's just so many benefits to it. But listen, I miss bourbon so much. I miss it. I will not, I'm going to pretend like it's all roses. I have to have, like, there's a little hump to get over that first time the waiter comes to the table and says, does anybody want something to drink? I have to kind of, like, white knuckle through that 60 seconds.
Tell me about the new book and the catalyst for it, how it came out. I love this because, again, I'm approaching that. I talk about it all the time with my girlfriends. Like, what is our next chapter? What does the next part of the back 9 look like?
Right. It's been interesting because the pandemic has brought this right to the forefront. So they're thinking, do I want to go back to my old job? Is that the way I want to spend the rest of my life? So this book is really full of inspirational stories about people who, for the most part, were forced by circumstances to pivot and do something completely different. And they come at it from all different angles. And I'm hoping that it helps people step out for a new adventure.
You talk in the book, make friends with failure. I love this because I've certainly failed way more than I've succeeded. Easier to look back on it now and look at it and sort of think, okay, that helped me at the time. Not so cute.
Well, listen, the the show that inspired this book was canceled after one season. Talk about make friends with failure. You know, he's my best pal. The thing about failure is it's only failure if you don't learn anything from it. Failure can be a lesson if you can look at the situation and say, what was I responsible for in this situation? What were others responsible for? And what can I do differently next time?
I love thinking about your career and all your incredible roles and everything you're going to do next. Was there any big role when you look back on that you missed out on, or that you look back and laugh, something you auditioned for?
I auditioned for the Brady Bunch movie.
What? Who are you going to be?
The Carol.
Laura, you're going to be Carol.
There was a whole bunch of us, and we were all wearing bad Carol wigs for the audition. It was one of the funniest auditions I've ever had, just because in the waiting room, we were all looking at each other with these horrible polyester wigs on going, we're grown women. How is this what we do for a living? Like, we were laughing so hard in the waiting room that I couldn't go in for they called me in to come and audition. I said, please let somebody else go right now because I'm laughing too hard because this is too ridiculous.
Were you going to be Elaine on Seinfeld? That one I could see.
Yeah, I did. I remember the first audition went really well, and the callback, I just realized Jerry was trying to get me to do something or be a certain way that just it wasn't clicking, and I knew it wasn't working, but it all worked out well because Julia Dreyfus was sensational, and of course she's a sensational person, and then I got to do Raymond, so it all worked out well.
I love that you still get together, you said, with the cast. I think that's sensational. Do you tease Ray now that he's a big movie star?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I text him, you know, I'm like, whoever thought that we'd be saying the names Ray Romano, Martin Scorsese, and Robert De Niro in the same sentence? I'm like, what? That's weirder than the pandemic. I'm sorry, but it's weirder than the pandemic.
Well, I
was looking around like, is Jesus coming back? Because this is the end of the world.
Patricia, so great chatting with you.
Yes.
Your 4 boys seem fabulous, your life. I love your back 9 right now. I'm following suit. I'm right behind you. So keep in touch. Thanks. By the way, everybody, check out Patricia's new book, Your Second Act, Inspiring Stories, right there of transformation. And we will be right back.
Thanks.